Okay, now we will talk about verbs. And this presentation is made by me. I'm Dilnoz Alauddinova, senior teacher of Termin State University. Okay, let's begin. Today we are going to speak about all about verbs. The timeline, for example. Draw a timeline of your life. List 8 or 10 events on the timeline. Make sure you list your future graduation date. When you were born, traveled to Europe or Oxford School of Oxford or moved to Cali, husband graduated, started school or got married. Next, the 6 English verb tenses. 3 simple tenses and 3 perfect tenses, and 3 simple continuous tenses, and 3 perfect continuous tenses. Present simple, you walk, I run. Past simple, you walked, I ran. Future simple, you will walk, I'll run. Perfect tense, present perfect, you have walked, I run. Past perfect, you had walked, I had run. Future perfect, you will have walked, I'll have run. Simple continuous, you are walking, I'm running. Past continuous, you were walking, I was running. Future continuous, you'll be walking, I'll be running. And present perfect continuous, you have been walking, I have been running. Past perfect, you had been walking, I had been running. Future perfect, you will have been walking, I'll have been running. Next, simple present tense. Expresses a habit or often repeated action. Adverbs of frequency such as often, seldom, sometimes, never are used with this tense. She goes to work every day. They always eat lunch together. Next, on your handout, write one sentence that reflects simple present, something you do often, sometimes, never, or seldom. Next, simple present tense. This tense also expresses general truths or facts are timeless. The snow falls in December in Minnesota. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. And now we will learn about present continuous. This tense is used to describe an action that is occurring right now, at this moment, today, this year. The action has begun and still in progress. It can be occurring now, but temporary. Formed by adding er before the verb and ing to the verb. She's typing a paper for her class. He can't talk. He's fixing the sink right now. Simple past. We use this simple past to indicate exactly when an action or event took place in the past. I visited my sister yesterday. We went out to dinner last night. Simple past is used to describe actions or events that are now completed and no longer true in the present. This tense formed by adding ed to regular verbs, or we have irregular verb forms in English. I attended in 1998. I no longer attended MGC. I saw a movie every weekend when I was a teenager. I don't see movies very much anymore. The past continuous is often used with the simple past to show that one action was in progress when another action occurred. For example, I was taking a bus when the doorbell rang. They were eating dinner when the neighbors stopped by for a visit. Past continuous is used to talk about an activity that was in progress at a specific point of time in the past. The emphasis is on the duration of the activity in the past. I was studying for an exam while my mother was cooking dinner. We were walking in the park around 7 p.m. last night. The present perfect is used to talk about an event that began in the past and use it to the present. He has lived in Modesto for 2 years. He began living in Modesto 2 years ago and he still lives here. The present perfect is also used to talk about an event that was completed in the past, but specific time of the event is not important. I have seen that movie before. He has already visited Vietnam. Specific dates and times are not mentioned. Perfect tenses have or has the present participle of the word. Simple past or present perfect. I went to Mexico in 2002. I have gone deep sea diving a few times. The drummer in the band studied percussions, has studied percussion since he was 5. It took the jury 2 hours to reach their verdict yesterday. Washington, D.C. has been the capital of our country for many years. This tense is used to describe the duration of an action that began in the past and continues into the present. He has been studying grammar for an hour. He has been cooking all day. Now he's still studying and she's still cooking. Present perfect continuous is also used to describe events that have been in progress recently and are rather temporary. She has been living in Taiwan for the last 2 months, but she plans to move soon. Next, past perfect. This tense describes completed events that took place in the past before another past event. The Titanic had received many warnings before it hit the iceberg. I had already eaten when my friend stopped by to visit. Past perfect continuous. This tense is used to emphasize the duration of an action that was completed before another action or event in the past. She had been driving around the city for 3 hours before she finally found the right office. The future. Future is formed by will and be going to are often used to describe future actions. Thomas will graduate in June. Mario is going to go to Mexico next week. The simple present and present continuous are also used to express future time. These are often used in connection with schedules. She's meeting a new client at 11 o'clock. The train leaves at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Future continuous. This tense is used to describe an event or action that will occur over a period of time at a specific point in the future. I will be teaching ESL 40 at 10 a.m. tomorrow. They will be moving their furniture out of the house by the time you arrive tomorrow. Future perfect. This tense is used to describe an event or action that will be completed before another event or time in the future. He will have finished the exam by the time class ends tomorrow. This tense describes an action that has been in progress or for a duration of time before another event or time in the future. By the time he finished law school, he will have been living in the USA for 8 years. Practicing in a sequence. The program will continue only after the coughing and fidgeting have stopped. Because he was poor and unappreciated by the music world when he died in 1791. Mozart didn't realize the importance his music would have in the future. Dad will tell us tonight if he will buy a new car next month. Albert Einstein failed the entrance exam at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology because he had never been a very disciplined student. Einstein studied only subjects that he liked. Science researchers think it's likely that a cure for most cancers will soon be found. The customer demanded to see the manager. He was angry because every jacket he tries on has something wrong with it. A button was missing on the first, the lining didn't hang properly on the second, and the collar had a stain on the third. They are all in the past tense. Correct and necessary shift. The customer demanded to see manager. He was angry because every jacket he tried on had something wrong with it. A button was missing on the first, the lining didn't hang properly on the second, and the collar had a stain on the third. There's also exercise for you to correct shifts. Passive voice and active voice. There are two voices in English. First one is passive voice, and the second one is active voice. In the active voice, the subject is doing something. The committee made the decision. Who made the decision? The committee, its subject, and made it's a verb. In the passive voice, something is being done to the subject. The decision was made by the committee. We have to put by to show the doer of the action. Why choose one over the other? In general, choose the active voice to achieve direct, economical, and forceful writing. Most writing should be in the active voice. Choose the passive voice to de-emphasize the actor or to avoid naming the actor altogether. It all depends on your emphasis. How do you form passive? The subject acted upon, verb to be, past participle by phrase. The meals have been cooked. The books are illustrated. The wrong number was dialed by the child. The child dialed the wrong number. It's active voice. The sweater was crotcheted very carefully by my grandmother. It's passive voice, and my grandmother very carefully crotcheted the sweater. It's active voice. The tornado struck Cherry Creek last spring. Cherry Creek was struck by a tornado last year. They are all examples of active and passive voice. Subjunctive mood. Indicative, imperative, subjunctive. Indicative mood expresses facts. Imperative expresses command. Subjunctive expresses conditions contrary to fact or expresses urgency or demand. If I were you, I would drive home on Sunday. I insist that he drive home on Sunday. Should, would, use it to, suppose it to, can, could, and will, would. Don't use more than one, can, may, might, should, ought. Don't follow with of, not should of, but should have. Can, could, will, would. Could is the past tense of can. Would is the past tense of will. Use it to, suppose it to. Don't omit the final D in the phrases. I'm used to walking. It's wrong. We are supposed to meet him for a dinner. It's also wrong. I'm used to cooking. We are supposed to. More have is verbs. To be verbs, help auxiliary verbs have has, and the other. Thank you for your attention. They are all about verbs from English language. Have a good day.